New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring. New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Live from a secure concrete bunker somewhere in Ohio, New Thought Media Network presents Pastor Michael Mangus with Friday's Fireside Chat, spiritual conversation for today. Here he is from the secret radio room, surrounded by thousands of watts, Pastor Michael Mangus.
Well, good evening to everyone across the United States and also around the world. It is time once again for another fun-filled, thrill-packed, and yes, guaranteed exciting edition of the Fireside Chat here on your New Thought Media Network. I am the Reverend Michael Mangus, and I am broadcasting this evening from the super secure concrete bunker located somewhere around Akron, Ohio, that is so top secret that only one person knows where it's located. Everyone else has no clue where the top secret bunker is located, and we are going to keep it that way. Especially that Robert Brzezinski guy. I don't even know if he's in town this week, Jeff. So that means we can do whatever we want tonight. Well, hi there. Good evening to everyone. We do have a wonderful show for you planned, and please feel free to interact with us. Yes, we are live. And you can interact with us on either Facebook or on YouTube. And again, my shy people out there, I know you're out there. You say, I don't want to be on the comments. Okay, well, then send me an email, pastormichaelmangus@gmail.com, pastormichaelmangus@gmail.com. So the purpose of our fireside chat is for all of us to get a warm beverage or cold. I have my Doctor Who mug. This was really Diana's, but yeah, Doctor Who. So for all of us just to sip on a warm beverage and to talk about contemporary issues from a spiritual new thought perspective. And again, that we want you to have a new thought about what's going on in the world and your participation in it. And again, it's not just, again, the old new thought of the 90s that just says, well, we're just going to focus on me. It's a new thought about focusing on the we. So, and again, all of the views and opinions expressed are those of my own or my guests. They are not those of New Thought Media Network, our advertisers, or anyone else, living or dead. All right, take what you like and leave the rest. But again, we want you to think about what is going on in the world and how you can participate in making it a world that does work for all. This evening, we are so honored to have with us divine science minister, speaker, and also birthday boy. Today is his birthday. Happy birthday, Reverend Jeff Radcliff.
Thank you. Thank you. A lot of folks on Facebook, they inundated me with birthday greetings today. And I feel so blessed and honored. I was mentioning it to somebody, and he goes, "Well, aren't we popular?" And I said, "Yes, I guess we are."
Well, that's one of the nice things about Facebook is that, again, if you participate on that it shows your birthday, and then you get like 200 people from out of the blue. They're saying happy birthday to you.
Yeah.
Well, again, Jeff, it's been a slow news week, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been. I was bored. Thankfully, I had activities out in the community to keep me occupied because the news. Yeah, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Okay. Well, you know what?
Except
It is.
fine.
It is very nice to be back, and this is me at Theology Beer Camp. Now, I was accused by Reverend Jeff Radcliff for looking inebriated in this photo. True or not?
Y'all better say yes. Does he not look like he's like 3 sheets to the wind?
Oh. See, that's what Theology Beer Camp's all about. Do you think that we would have had the Reformation without beer?
Of course not.
Of course not. Yeah, because Martin Luther drank a lot of beer. A lot. It's said that when he started preaching, that his preaching would get a little better the more beer he drank. Well, here's another photo from Beer Camp. That's
just 2 sheets to the wind, right?
That's 3 sheets to the wind, right?
No, that one's 2. The other one was 3.
Yeah.
You looked a lot more gone.
All right. So this next picture. All right. So I'm at breakfast on Sunday morning.
That's 1 sheet.
What now?
That's 1 sheet.
Oh, that's 1 sheet. Okay. Well, again, I had my coffee.
Okay.
And so this couple was sitting right next to me, very nice. And we were talking, and I said, did you go to beer camp? And she said, yes, we did. And I asked, well, are you pastors? And they said, no, my husband was a presenter for Trip Fuller. This is Dr. Peter Ennis, PhD, Harvard, who's written several books on the Bible and also theology. And I did not recognize him. So
love his t-shirt though.
Yeah, vote.
Vote.
Yeah. Well, hold on here. I have
with that little bill from very good.
Yeah.
He's got that little bill from Conjunction Junction, that those people, remember those? The little cartoons? Who were those? That's not the name of it.
Was it Schoolhouse Rock?
Schoolhouse Rock. That's it.
Yeah, Conjunction Junction. Yeah. So I said, cool t-shirt, but that's Pete Ennis, and I didn't recognize him. And so he was one of the presenters.
He looks like he's educated, all right.
Oh, he is Harvard.
He's dressed down.
Harvard.
He's one of us, yeah.
Very smart. Okay. And next, since we are showing pics, there she is.
There's my girl.
Blamey Grant in her blue hair. In her blue drag hair. What do you think?
Well, I'm thinking, first of all, it looks green to me, but that's okay. I'm glad that she was there. It seems like a good time follows wherever she goes. So,
it was her opening act, Ivy Hill. Oh my goodness, she came out in these football pads, and she had on a T-shirt that said "Teenage Drama." And she says, "I'm glad we're in a church because I can say I'm a homosexual." Here's another picture.
Oh, that's striking with the kind of the bluish purple background.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yes. So a good time was had by all there. And again, thank you to my boss for giving me the week off, the Reverend Dr. Robert Brzezinski, who we met for dinner. Myself and Dr. Guy Williams, we met for dinner on Wednesday evening. It was so nice because I did not have to do a darn thing at this conference. I didn't have to switch cameras or solve problems or anything else. It was nice just to be there and just enjoy. So
yeah, because you work it when you go to these things, and so it's nice to hear that you were able to just go and enjoy yourself instead of working.
Yeah, and also 2 sheriff's deputies were there to make sure that I did not go crazy. And I wonder if Home Office is going to buy the fact that I was at a normal theology conference when I put that in my report.
Not if he watches the show.
Not if they watch the show.
Yeah.
So, and it was funny because Trip Fuller said in his last talk that he had a couple of the participants come up to him and say, well, I haven't heard Jesus's name mentioned much this weekend. And that there were a couple of the speakers that said that there was no need for substitutional atonement on the cross.
I like that idea. That there's no need for it. Because there's not. We're one anyway.
Right.
Is one. It's all God. We're one with God. So to have somebody get on a cross as a way of bridging the gap, there's no gap to bridge.
Right. And
how cool is that?
So again, progressive thought, theology, the learned ones are coming. Again, they're switching their view on LGBTQ rights and also their inclusion in the church, also becoming more socially active. Again, it was a great conference. We had over 600 people there in Denver. And yes, there was a lot of drinking. A lot of drinking.
So
how are you, Jeff? Go ahead.
850,000 Southern Baptists just clutched their pearls at that statement.
Well, they don't have a good time like we did.
No. Wow.
We had a great time. So how are you doing, Jeff?
I'm okay. Was enjoying the weather the past couple of days because it had gotten just cool enough that no more bugs. Well, we had temperatures in the low 80s today, and I was sitting out on the porch a while ago, and the bugs are back. And I got bitten like 4 times, and I'm kind of sort of sorry to say that one of God's little bloodsuckers didn't make it.
Oh, you sent them their higher consciousness. I shuffled them off this mortal coil. Let's put it that way. Hey, guess who else is sending out birthday greetings?
Who I know, I saw.
Yeah, and Diana Mangus. Yeah. All right. I guess we got to do the news. Darn it.
Even though there wasn't much of it.
Yeah. Well, you know what? After all the election news, it's my end story is probably the most interesting story. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet.
Well, get on with it.
Oh, get on with it. Let's do this news.
I'm not getting any younger, you know.
Well, Vice President Kamala Harris will deliver an address on reproductive rights at a Houston rally featuring Beyonce. How about that?
Cool.
According to a campaign official. Meanwhile, former President Donald Trump will speak about immigration in Austin, Texas, and will hold a rally in Michigan. Now, we have a tied race here, according to the polls. Harris and Trump remain locked in a tight contest with 47% of likely voters supporting each candidate, a new CNN poll finds this week, with just 11 days to go until Election Day. And I want to say to everybody this evening, go vote.
Mm-hmm.
Just go vote. Go vote, go vote. Go vote your values. Go vote. Any comments, Reverend Jeff Radcliff?
Well, my ballot, I qualify for mail-in now. And so it's been in for almost 2 weeks. And so I'm anxiously waiting for November 5th to see how they tally up, especially being in Ruby Red, Tennessee. I'm interested to see how the Democrats show up this year, because Tennessee used to be blue. And then it kind of sort of started to swing purple back in the late 90s. And then somewhere along the line, somebody pushed him right over the edge.
Good evening to Pamela Longville Coon, who says, good evening, Reverends Michael and Jeff. I love watching the Fireside Chat. And she also says, happy birthday, Reverend Jeff. How about that?
Thank you, Pamela. I appreciate it.
Isn't that nice? You have a fan club out there, Jeff.
I can't help it.
Yeah, okay. Back to the news. Donald Trump appears in a TV ad for a key Ohio Senate race. Former President Donald Trump appeared in a new TV ad for Ohio Republican Senator nominee Bernie Moreno that began to air on Friday, saying that Moreno's opponent, Democratic Senator Sherrod Brown, pretends that he is my friend. The ad, which comes from a super PAC supported by Moreno, featured Trump on camera slamming Brown's record in Congress and working to undercut Brown's bipartisan messaging. Sherrod Brown is a radical left politician.
And that's what we like about him.
Who has played politics for 50 years, making a career of selling you out, Trump said in the ad. He pretends that he's my friend. He pretends that he goes with my policies, but it's only for about a month before the election. And Trump proceeds to criticize Brown over immigration and border security, key issues for conservative voters, and closes by saying he's a disaster. He is not for me. He is not for my politics. He is not for Make America Great Again. He has nothing to do with it. Yeah. Get this. One of Brown's campaign's top TV ads by spending over the last 30 days featuring the senator talking about that record, saying that I've shown that I'll stand up to presidents of my party if they're doing damage to my state. Now, Sherrod Brown is known for his centrist position, and he is well respected by not only Democrats, but also Republicans. So it's going to be interesting if people believe this stuff from Trump about him. And again, during the Trump administration, Sherrod Brown, again, walked across the aisle and tried to work with the Republicans and also with the president. So it's interesting that they're coming out with this messaging. Your thoughts, Reverend Jeff Radcliff?
I think those Americans and those Ohioans especially who are not part of the radical right MAGA movement aren't going to pay much mind to what Mr. Trump has to say. We've heard a lot of, let me pick a good word. We've heard
horse crap.
Yeah, well, yeah. There's a lot of excrement from him lately. I mean, he's so unbelievable. Anybody else, we would have taken their car keys, we would have brought them back home, and we'd have put them to bed and locked them in the attic.
Absolutely.
Except for us down here in the South, we bring our crazy people out and show them off. Unfortunately, Donald Trump's not
And
from
give
here.
them a gun.
Mhm.
You would give them a gun.
That
No,
too. Yeah, well, yeah, you got to shoot the varmints, but I mean,
you
seriously,
have to shoot varmints. Go ahead.
with some of the stuff that he's coming out with, how anybody can believe that there's anything truthful coming out of his mouth. I mean, Arnold Palmer, for God's sake. I mean,
Oh,
seriously?
no, I have that coming up.
So if how anybody can take the man seriously is totally beyond me.
Yeah, I have that story coming up, and his daughters, Arnold Palmer's daughters, saying some things.
Yeah.
So, well, let's go on with the news here, and we are going to have here in just a moment an expert from McDonald's here who will be on the hotline.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
so here he is. The Donald was in suburban Pennsylvania on Sunday, where he attempted to come across as America's everyman president in a very modern way by working at Mickey D's. Instead, the former president was creating a kind of strange spectacle as he stoked fears about the election while wearing an apron through the restaurant's drive-through window. The scene played out in the Festerville neighborhood of Lower Southampton Township, where the former president and his campaign took over a McDonald's franchise owned by one of his supporters. And again, McDonald's has taken a lot of heat this week because of this stunt, and that you have to understand now the structure of McDonald's, and maybe our McDonald's expert here in a moment will explain that. But the roughly hour-long photo op closed down the restaurant entirely. A sign on the door said that the restaurant would be closed on Sunday until 4 p.m. after the president and his entourage had left. Now, during the visit, Trump had an apron on.
But no hairnet and no gloves. Did you notice that?
Yeah, he did not have any gloves. I thought I had a picture of. No, I don't. Okay, that's all right. But anyhow, that's Donald, and he's working the fries there. And anyhow, during the visit, he had an apron tied behind his neck by a McDonald's cashier before he received a short demonstration on how to work a fry station and stuck his head through the drive-through. Trump proceeded to hand out a number of orders through the drive-through window on Sunday, chatting to supporters who were picking up their meals. On our hotline here.
It wasn't real, was it? Were those really customers, or were those just plants?
I think they were plants. So we have on our hotline here, expert, go ahead. Are you there?
I am.
Yes, this is McDonald's fry expert, and on the phone, Diana Mangus, RSCP Emeritus, 40 years McDonald's manager, and also an award-winning manager, receiving Outstanding Store Manager not once, not twice, but 3 times.
4.
Oh, 4?
Wow.
4.
Oh, 4. I'm sorry, I missed one.
Did she win the Golden McRib?
Did you get the Golden McRib?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't even.
All right. Well, Diana, we're having you on tonight. So what, you watched the videos of the former president working the fry station. So what was your opinion of his work?
Well, the trainer was doing very well in trying to train him. So I've got to admit that. And but he has no common sense. he was filling the fries box backwards, first off. Now, everybody knows that the box is faced out for the customer to see.
Right.
And then he said, "Oh, you don't touch it. You don't touch the fries."
No.
You don't touch it. Even if you have gloves on it, you don't touch it. You don't have to because of the way they make it, so that you can be very clear and safe with what you're giving out to the customer.
So
I'm sorry.
So he was trained properly. Is that correct?
Oh, he was trained properly. Yes.
So how long?
He was trained properly.
So as a 40-year veteran manager, how long do you think that he would last at McDonald's?
Oh, he'd last about 2 days. He was giving away, if nothing else, just because he was giving away all the profit. Granted that he just started handing out things, that, and I'm sure the stuff that was going out through the drive-thru was all being given away anyways, but, he didn't even really do a drive-thru. He has no idea what a drive-thru is really like.
So he just went ahead and just handed bags out the window then.
Yeah, that's all he did. He didn't have to deal with taking the orders, anything like that.
All right, one last question here. So explain the McDonald's franchise model.
Well, there were most of the McDonald's are owned by owner operators. Like 80%. I might be wrong on that amount anymore, but there's 80% of McDonald's are owned by owner operators, and the owner operators then have their however many stores. Some have just one or two. Some of them have up to 60, 70, even 100. But they have to, in order for them to keep their license, they have to meet McDonald's standards constantly. I can't tell you how many times we would always get inspected.
Right.
From corporate on how we were doing it. And of course, then you had your own internal stuff too, from their own particular operators.
Right. So this operator went ahead and he acted independently, correct? On having Trump come in.
So yes, I would say so.
So he did not need permission from McDonald's corporate to do this stunt.
I don't know if he would or not, because it was the president, but I would say no, he wouldn't have to.
Thank you so very much. This is McDonald's fry expert and four-time outstanding store manager. Reverend Jeff, do you have anything to ask our expert here?
Do you have any idea at all why they didn't ask him to cover up that dead thing on top of his head?
They didn't have what on? I'm sorry. I didn't quite understand the question.
Well, why didn't they have him cover up that dead thing on his head?
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. Did you notice that the crew had hats on? Why didn't he have a hat on?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. So thank God they weren't really selling it out to regular customers, Like,
we would like to thank you for appearing on our show this evening. 40-year manager, now retired, and also our SCP Emeritus, Diana Mangus. We really appreciate you being on the Friday Evening Fireside Chat.
Well, thank you, and it's always great to talk with you and Jeff both. So.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. All right.
I think we need to put her up for the Golden McRib Award. I think we need to invent a Golden McRib first.
You're not going to believe this. We're at break time.
Yeah.
We're having a good time this evening. Well, for those of you who wondered what the heck you stumbled onto, this is the Friday Evening Fireside Chat, the Jeff Radcliff birthday edition here on Your New Thought Media Network as we celebrate Reverend Jeff's birthday. Here is Travel Around the Sun. and we are making him work on his birthday
for free.
for
No, for free.
Bill.
Not even a cake.
No, you need to talk to Reverend Dr. Brzezinski about that.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
there goes my cake.
All right. Well, Jeff, I'll be right back with you here. We'll do a few announcements, and then we will continue with the story about Arnold Palmer.
Far out, baby.
All right. Well, again, hi there. Good evening. The Fireside Chat here on your New Thought Media Network. So we have a few announcements here, and then we will go right back into the fun. Yours truly is currently parking himself at Summit CSL. For more information, go to summitcsl.org there, and only there you will find information about our wonderful Sunday gathering at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific time. Please grab your cup of coffee, your tea, your espresso, your boba tea, whatever wakes you up in the morning, and come and join us. We do have one of the best services in New Thought. And this Sunday, of course, we will have as our special guest, New Thought Media Network superstar, the Reverend Michael Mangus, whoever he is. Yours truly. So go to summitcsl.org for more information on how to join our Zoom call. And our service is also simulcast on the Summit Spiritual Center of Akron Facebook page. And also, we have past broadcasts of yours truly doing prayer and all the programs that I produce on New Thought Media Network. All right, time for a really short break, and I mean short. And then we'll be right back with a lot more. This is, again, the Friday evening Fireside Chat here on your New Thought Media Network.
Please help us say thank you to our organizational sponsors, including the Hefferland Foundation, Affiliated New Thought Network, International New Thought Alliance, Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, Center for Spiritual Living Midtown, New Thought Philadelphia, Planned Happiness Institute, Summit Center for Spiritual Living, One Heart Retreats, Center for Spiritual Living on the Lake, Unity Kitchener, Unity Spiritual Center, Ottawa, Om Center for Spiritual Living, Satya Center, Begin Within Ministries, Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey, Unity of Savannah, and the Center for Spiritual Living Seattle, as well as all of our individual donors. Thank you for being part of the New Thought Media Network. Please like, share, and subscribe. New Thought Media Network, positively inspiring.
The views and opinions expressed by Pastor Michael Mangus are generally right. However, they are his own and do not reflect the views and opinions of New Thought Media Network, Centers for Spiritual Living, or any other person living or dead. As they say in the 12-Step Recovery Program, take what you like and leave the rest. Here again is Pastor Michael.
And of all the programs that we have on New Thought Media Network, only my show has a disclaimer because our legal department wants me to have it. Even ministers talking excrement on Friday mornings does not have a disclaimer. But I do, because our legal department insists on it.
That's because you keep having me on here and you never know what I'm going to say.
But you see, you make things interesting, though.
Yeah. Well, while we were on break, I went to take a look at the news to see what's going on. And we've actually got some news. Reverend
Okay,
Michael.
go ahead. We have we have breaking
earlier-
news, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
About a half an hour ago, the New York Times broke that Israel hit southern and western Iran in retaliation for the missiles that Iran fired at them earlier this month. So yeah, things are heating up over there.
Well, hopefully, again, that's why we send peace to them. And I want to say, I know we've been talking a lot about the elections here, but one of the things that on Monday nights we have Reverend Jim Webb, Channel Spirit. And one of the affirmations that he has that's been repeated over the past couple of weeks is the whole idea of the world I see today, I choose to see as a world of love, peace, and harmony. The world I choose to see is a world of love, peace, and harmony. And what I've been doing is I've been, again, just sending light to our nation. And so, again, if you are concerned about this election, go vote. Number one, go vote. Go vote. Okay. And the other thing, too, is, again, is join the light workers. Join us as we, again, send light and, again, see a world of love, peace, and harmony. Any comments, Reverend Jeff Radcliff?
I had somebody the other day tell me, well, how can I keep my mind on the positive when there's so many people out there who are putting out their fear and their negativity? And I said, this new thought stuff is not easy. Keeping your thoughts focused is simple enough, but it's not the easiest thing in the world to do. But it behooves us to do that because all it's going to take is 51%.
Right.
For us to tip that balance. And all his fear thoughts they're as nothing anyway. They only have as much power as we give them anyway. But if we can get folks to really, truly focus on the positive things and move away from that, that's the metaphysical interpretation of what Scripture calls repenting for sins. If we can move away from those mistaken ideas of war and hatred and discord and strife and move toward ideas of peace and love and joy, we'll see it. We will see it. And all it's going to take is 51% of us to do that.
Right. And so
I think we're getting there a little at a time. I'm
going to put up that affirmation. The world that I now choose to see is a world of love, peace, and harmony.
I like it.
That's a couple of, and again, for what I do, and you don't have to do this, but I go ahead and I send light to our nation, and also that this again, that love is revealed. That love is revealed. So that's what I do. So that's what you can do as a light worker. That's what you can do as someone, again, who is in the process of awakening to their own spiritual nature. So anyhow, all right. Back to the news here. Arnold Palmer's daughter revealed what her dad really thought of Trump. Peg Palmer Wares speaks out after the former president's bizarre comments about the golf legend's privates. The daughter of the golf legend, Arnold Palmer, once said that her late father was appalled by Donald Trump's lack of civility and character, comments that have garnered fresh interest after the GOP nominee crudely remarked on Palmer's penis size at a Pennsylvania rally over the weekend. Wares said in a 2018 interview that Trump looked up to her father, so I suspect that he was on his best behavior when they were together. But during the 2016 presidential race, she said her dad saw a different side of the former president. And she watched her father and his sound of disgust as he watched Trump speak on television ahead of that year's election. Like he couldn't believe the arrogance and the crudeness of this man who was the nominee of the political party that he believed in. And then he said this, he's not as smart as we thought he was, and walked out of the room. This is his daughter's remarks. What would my dad think of Donald Trump today? I think he would cringe. And the remarks resurfaced after the former president's vulgar comments on Saturday about Palmer in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, the golf legend's hometown. And he said this, he says, when he took showers with the other pros, they came out there. They said, oh my God, that was unbelievable. Trump said of Palmer, who died in 2016, I had to say, we have women that are highly sophisticated here, but they used to look at Arnold as a man.
Isn't jealousy an ugly thing? Because I did see a story where, you know how, oh gosh, who was the, remember the political thing? I can't remember all the parties involved now. And the one guy tried to liken himself to JFK.
Right.
And he said, you know, I worked with him. I knew him. I was his friend, and you are no JFK. I heard that Stormy Daniels said, well, Donald doesn't have to worry. He's no Arnold Palmer.
The reason we're laughing at this is because it's so absurd. And the remedy to this is to go vote. Go vote, go vote, go vote.
You can drink afterward, but go vote first.
Yes, go vote, and then you may drink.
Yeah. I've tried to understand, and I've had this conversation with a lot of different people, a lot of different ministers. He's just another expression of divinity, but there have been very few who have gone as far off the rails as he has. So it's just amazing that there are people out there who want to emulate him and elevate him back to the White House, to the Oval Office.
Yes,
and the rest of us are here going, what the hell?
So again, our guest commentator this evening, Diana Mangus, she says, please also mention that Trump wanted his generals to be like, follow him like Hitler. The former president is really determined as much as Hitler.
Demented.
Yes, and also all we need is 50.1%. So that is why it's very important here that you go out and vote, 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 vote. All right. Now,
early and often.
What now?
Early and often, as the Republicans would say.
Well, as they would also say in Chicago too.
Yeah.
Well, our next story shows that, listen, there's two groups of people you don't mess with. Okay. The first one is drag queens, because they will take you out. The second group is Catholic nuns.
They will whack you with their beads.
Oh, they will. And here you go. The nuns hit back after after disgusting GOP voter fraud accusation. Again, these nice, sweet nuns, the Benedictine Sisters of Erie, Pennsylvania, which are around 3 hours away from us, says that the allegations have resulted in their monastery receiving complaints from across the country. A group of Pennsylvania nuns are fighting back after a conservative voter organization publicly accused them on social media of falsifying their voter records to help fraudulently swing the presidential election in the Democrats' favor in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. A claim that the state's top election officials have also discredited as fraudulent. The Benedictine Sisters of Erie said on Wednesday that they are considering legal counsel after dozens of nuns were accused of falsely identifying the monastery as their legal residence in their voter registration, when it is, in fact, where they live. And again, what happened is that this group of people headed up by this guy by the name of Mahoney has resulted in the monasteries receiving, it's Cliff Mahoney, receiving complaints from across the country. The nuns insist that they reside at Mount St. Benedict Monastery, and that they also have no evidence that someone who worked for Cliff Mahoney actually spoke with them about their voting records. Supposedly, what had happened was that someone had knocked on the door and no one answered. And so they assumed that no one was there. So that's why Cliff Mahoney went on X and said, well, we have found voter fraud in Erie, Pennsylvania. So the nightmare follows Mahoney alleging on Tuesday that one of his door knockers visited the nuns' monastery to check on the status of an unreturned mail-in ballot that was registered to a Republican. Why in a HE double toothpicks was he there in the first place? Why? Is he a state official? Why? Well, anyhow, while there, someone on the property told him that no one lives there, supposedly, despite 53 voters, the vast majority listed as liberal or Democrats, being registered as residing at the address. In the following post, one that received more than 2.7 million views, Mahoney's surmised that that voter fraud was being committed. Pennsylvania State Department of State, who handles voter fraud allegations within the state, the department told Huffington Post that the Pennsylvania Secretary of the Commonwealth, Al Schmidt, called Sister Schmidt, who's the prioress of the monastery, of which he has no relations with, on Thursday, to thank her for standing up against election disinformation. And this is what the Benedictine Sisters of Erie said. They said, we want to be on public record as having called out this fraud so that if the outcome of next month's election is contested in Pennsylvania, our integrity will not be called into question.
What I'd like to know is who was this person on the grounds who told him that nobody lived there? Because if you were somebody who was connected with the nuns, you would know that they lived there. So somebody's either lying or something. It's not quite right. It's definitely not somebody connected with the monastery.
First of all, the individual is not a state official. Why were they going up there in the first place? And it's a monastery. It is a convent.
Mm-hmm.
Sisters live there. Nuns. They live in community. And of course, they do vote.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't get it. Go ahead.
It baffles me how there can be so, I don't know. There's so much information that's false being spewed about, and people just buy into it. It boggles my mind. And it all started out with the what was it that they called it? Alternate facts. And then they started calling it fake news.
Yeah.
And,
using the same gaslighting techniques as Donald Trump has.
Yeah.
By confusing individuals by saying, oh, it's not there, it's fake news. What was the
and if people would just take the time to do a little bit of research and not just go to Fox News to check things out, they would see that they're being fed a bunch of horse hockey. But they don't want to do that. The American people have gotten extremely short-sighted and extremely lazy these past several decades. And each year it seems to get a little worse. That's why we've got crazy people talking about Jewish space lasers, talking about all these ways that the voting machines flip your votes and stuff like that. It's just mind-boggling to me.
I think what we're taking a look at here, Jeff, is anger, especially white anger, that the white race individuals do not like change. They do not like what they're seeing. They do not like that we are becoming more of a nation that is mixed rather than white. And so that's what I'm seeing here is I'm seeing that kind of backlash here. And that the only thing that's going to combat that is by others standing up, the adults in a room, and saying, no more. We need an adult in the White House. Kamala Harris is not perfect. I get that. But again, that she's been, in that White House for the past 4 years, and that she knows what's going on. If she does not know, she has experts that will tell her. So I think, again, having an adult in the White House, who are you going to have work with Trump after the previous 4 years? You had people like John Kelly that went ahead and kind of put the brakes on him a little bit and said, this is illegal. Who are you going to get back? And then again, John Kelly coming out this week and saying he admired generals, that followed dictators. So,
yeah. And I don't want to be one of those that falls into the conspiracy theory camp, but a very plausible idea that I've been hearing lately is once they elect Trump to the White House, they will use, what is it, the 25th Amendment, 26th Amendment, to get him out of there and put J.D. Vance in. And I'm like, you know what? That is so far out there but it's not so unbelievable. It's a lot more believable than some of the stuff that Marjorie Taylor Greene tried to shovel at us.
Well,
this is a
go
very
ahead.
plausible thing, especially when you couple that with Project 2025. And, it was not written by Trump, but it was written for Trump.
Yes,
And
by the Heritage Foundation.
yeah, so
With his name mentioned hundreds of times in that document.
yeah. So our defense, our course of action, like you said, make sure you're voting, and then we pray for divine order, basically,
Right.
to be revealed.
All right. Listen, after all of those political stories, this is my last story.
It's
All
not
right.
political, is it?
No,
Okay, good.
no, it's not political. The 2024 Circleville Pumpkin Show Giant Pumpkin winner weighs in at 2,226 pounds. The Circleville, Ohio Pumpkin Show has crowned its largest pumpkin of 2024. And this year's top prize went to Bob and Joe Liggett, whose massive pumpkin weighed in at 2,226 pounds. At last year's show, the Liggets set the state record for their 2,388.5 pound pumpkin. And the previous record was set back in 2014 at 1,964 pounds. That's a heck of a lot of pumpkin.
And don't these guys grow other things? Because I remember seeing an article here just the other day about somebody growing a massive pumpkin that won a prize somewhere. But then a couple of years ago, he won a prize for like the heaviest cantaloupe or the heaviest sugar beet or turnip or whatever it was that he grew.
So what happens is that these farmers, what they do is, again, that they cross-pollinate these seeds so that they get pumpkins like this. It's a special seed that is, again, that probably the Liggets have been working on for years to get these huge pumpkins. I mean,
is that even edible?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that the edible ones are the smaller ones. Yeah. But again, I just wanted just kind of a palate cleanser, kind of a good news thing to end our show with.
Yeah. Because tis the season, the Halloween season's coming up. So yeah, it makes sense. Let's have a pumpkin.
Yeah, let's go ahead. Well, no, I saw again, after researching today, I went on the Good News Network and I tried to find a story, and they had a pumpkin story there from the United Kingdom. So I said, well, you know what? I'm going to find out what happened this year in Circleville, which is south of Columbus here in Ohio. And man, that's a big pumpkin. That's all I have to say.
Wow.
Well, happy birthday, Jeff.
Thank you.
Thank you for working. I mean, you look very, very
dapper today. Yeah. Well, I had to spruce up because I'm presenting tomorrow at the Divine Science Ministers Association virtual retreat. So I had to spiff up a little bit.
So what are you talking about tomorrow?
Interestingly enough, I hadn't planned on this until I got an email with a quote that made me think. As I was following those thoughts, I moved in other directions, and it turns out I'm going to be talking about serving, not only ourselves, but ourselves as well as the world at large. Service.
Yes, Jeff and I actually do pastor. It's not just the fancy title. We actually do work.
Yeah.
Well, happy birthday again, Jeff. And again, thank you for being on the show this evening. And
I'll send Reverend Dr. Robert a bill.
Yes, please do.
He was on a while ago, but I think he's gone now.
Okay, hold on here. It says, thank you, both Michael and Jeff again. Happy birthday, Jeff. Isn't that nice? And also, this is from the boss.
Yeah.
The boss has been watching this evening.
Yeah.
Please only vote once.
Yeah, so much for early and often.
Robert, except if you're in Chicago. Yes, please only vote once, okay? Yeah.
Make it count.
Make it count. Go vote. Go vote. All right. Well, time for us to go here. Thank you, Jeff, again. We love and appreciate you, and best wishes on your talk tomorrow. I know you're going to knock them alive.
There you go. Thank you.
All right. Good night. And good night to all of you. Again, thank you so very much for your love and support of this show. We had a really great show this evening. Again, please support us here on our network. If you go to newthoughtmedianetwork.org and then also /donate. Again, please consider partnering with us here. Where else are you going to get, again, not only commentary, but also, again, practical application of our teaching? And so this evening, again, please consider a very generous donation to ntmedia.org/donate. On behalf of all of us here at the New Thought Media Network, I'm Reverend Michael Mangus. I'm going to wish you a very pleasant good night and a great week.
Thanks for joining us this evening for Friday's Fireside Chat with Pastor Michael Mangus. Join us again next week at 8 Eastern, 6 Mountain for more spiritual conversations for today. For more information and replays of past shows, please visit the New Thought Radio and Media Network's Facebook page. Until next week, may God bless you richly and abundantly.